Tonight on Global TV News Prime, appeal court stops Sanusi's reinstatement as emir. In business, European Union pledges support for Nigeria's digital ecosystem. On the foreign scene, ex-Philippines President Duterte to appear before International Criminal Court. In sports tonight, Thomas Tuchel announces squad for upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agbofwebe, reminding our viewers tonight that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. Tonight, let's begin by telling you the Court of Appeal in Abuja has halted the reinstatement of Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano. A 3-member panel of justices led by Justice Okona Bang unanimously halted the implementation of the January 10 judgment, which vacated the nullification of Sanusi's appointment by a Kano State High Court, which held that it was done without jurisdiction. The judgment, which was delivered by Justice Gabriel Kolawole, held that the nullification of Sanusi's appointment was done without the required jurisdiction and ordered the transfer of the suit to the Kano State High Court. Global Television will sure keep an eye out on that story as it unfolds for you. Let's turn elsewhere tonight, where the House of Representatives has approved a new value-added tax VAT sharing formula, allocating 55% to states and 35% to local government councils. The decision followed the adoption of a report by the House Committee on Finance and 4 tax bills transmitted to the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu in October of last year. The report was considered clause by clause and adopted in a session presided over by the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas. Section 77 of the report introduces a new VAT distribution structure. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai says he sought the permission of former President Muhammadu Buhari before leaving the All Progressives Congress APC and joining the Social Democratic Party SDP. On the widespread assertion that he left the party because he was not considered for a ministerial appointment, the former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory stated that the insinuation was only a popular view. An 11-man independent judicial accountability panel, whose membership included 3 retired justices, has faulted the Supreme Court over the judgment on the protracted political crisis in Rivers State. The panel, headed by retired Justice Moji Dowade of the Court of Appeal, said in a statement following its inaugural meeting in Abuja that it was worried that the Apex Court's judgment on appeals emanating from legal disputes in Rivers State descended into live issues. The Ijaw National Congress, INC, has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to call Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to order over his comments on the Ijaw. The Congress was reacting to alleged comments credited to Wike in which he said the Ijaw people, quote, were a minority of minorities in Rivers and other South states except Bayelsa, unquote. In a statement in Abuja, the National Publicity Secretary of the INC, Chief Izenobi Oyake Miagbega, said the Congress had taken note of the FCT minister's remarks. The immediate past Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami SAN, says decisions regarding presidential pardons are legal matters handled by a designated committee, with the Attorney General's role limited to presenting the committee's report. Malami made this clarification while responding to allegations in former President Olusegun Obasanjo's newly released book, Nigeria, Past and Future. The book, one of the 2 newly released to mark Obasanjo's 80th birthday, alleged that corruption is at its worst under the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari, with Malami playing a key role in enabling corrupt practices. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Interior and Chairperson of the Investigative Panel on the Allegations of Corruption and Other Abuses in Nigerian Correctional Service, Dr. Magdalene Ajani, has given marching orders to all those implicated to return to base and ensure the custodial facility is free from the sale and use of all contraband items. She gave the order during the ongoing second public hearing of the panel in Abuja. The chairperson stated that the panel has clearly established that there is a lot of underhand and corrupt dealings, including abuse of office, witch hunting, and other sharp practices going on at the Okaka prison in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State that is contrary to the Nigerian Correctional Service Act 2019 and other guidelines and standing order of the agency, as well as the rules of the federal government. This is Global Television, and tonight you're watching the live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agumofwebe. When the rest of the news returns shortly, essential commodities see drop in price driven by a mix of factors. Our business correspondent was in town to find out what the pulse of the people is. Plus, we have foreign and sports stories for you on the flip side of this break.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Thank you, everyone, for staying with us here on the news. The second part of this broadcast now returns with business, where the high price of food items has been a major concern to households across the country. Recently, the government set up an initiative aimed at curbing price increase on food items. Business correspondent Samuel Odi completes the story.
According to recent data and the rebasing of the Consumer Price Index, food prices on the market have continued to experience a downtrend, largely attributed to the combination of factors which includes improved agricultural productivity, increase in global supply chain, and change in consumer demand.
We thank the Lord because everything has going down small. Before we are buying red oil, 2,200, but now it's 1,800. Before Gary is 1,500, but now it's 1,001. 1,000 difference. Yeah, something is coming down small.
The Tinubu try things where we get for Nigeria don't they come down small, but the one where then they bring from outside can we be frozen food, agree come down, and we they produce our own small. But we don't know whether they carry our own, they produce, they go outside country. But make President Tinubu try for us, please.
Despite the change in food price, sellers have complained about the low patronage from customers.
President Tinubu, make it work hard or make it reduce money. This thing has already come down, but no money to buy it.
Yeah, as they come down, money no come there. We get much buyers. People are complaining because of hardship. I beg, may government Tinubu try. We know say the easy, go feel now one person. And in Nigeria too plenty now, but we thank God. So I beg, would they beg Tinubu make it try for us, please. Make things come down so that people could see money buy.
Still on the rebasing of the current CPI that just occurred in the month of January 2025, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu attributed to the fact that Nigerians are going to experience suffering which wouldn't last for a long time. Nigerians have actually attributed to the fact that food items are gradually coming down as President Ahmed Tinubu attributed and promised. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
Business correspondent Samuel Odi, thank you so very much for your reporting tonight. The European Union has restated its commitment to supporting Nigeria's digital ecosystem, particularly as it could help reignite the economy, providing youth with digital skills and creating much-needed employment across the country. Under the Global Gateway Strategy, the EU says it is leading the charge in digital investments through a digital package of 820 million euros. From building robust digital and governance infrastructure to driving digital skills development and creating new jobs, the EU is putting its weight behind Nigeria's digital transformation. And back home, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, says the price war between the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and Dangote Petroleum is affecting its members. Chairman of the association, Enugu Depot Community Charge of Anambra, Ebonyi, and Enugu State, Chinedu Ayanso, stated this during an interview with journalists in Awka, Anambra State capital. Ayanso says the price instability in the sector had resulted in the high level of uncertainty and a reduction in investors' confidence. As a coastal megacity with over 27 million residents, Lagos is increasingly vulnerable to rising sea levels, coastal erosion, and extreme weather events, which could result in losses of up to $29 billion if urgent action is not taken. A new report by the Lagos State Ministry of Planning and Budget titled the Lagos Economic Development Update 2025 has warned that climate change poses a severe threat to the state's economy, infrastructure, and food security. The report highlights how flooding and poor urban planning are exacerbating these challenges, disrupting key sectors such as transportation, agriculture, and public health. As discussions continue over federal government's proposed resumption of crude oil production in Ogoniland, grassroots women in the farming sector have raised concerns about being allegedly sidelined. They noted that despite the trauma and physical harm they endured during the Ogoni struggle, their voices remain suppressed in their ongoing dialogue. Kekelomo Okere now reports.
The team from Kabekache Resource Center and Foundation visited several Ogoni communities in Kana and Gokada local government area of Rivers State, where women who were part of Ogoni struggles in the early 90s recounted their traumatic experiences. These women, whose only means of livelihood is farming, has been severely impacted by decades of oil-related activities, insisting that the federal government must show empathy and pay repatriation for the physical and psychological pain that have endured before the plans to resume oil production on their land are considered. The women who made this assertion during the recent interaction with the Kabekache Women Development and Resource Center, a non-governmental organization with commitment to empowering women and amplifying the voices of the poor and vulnerables across communities in the oil-rich yet impoverished Niger Delta region.
My mother was terrorized and my sisters. Since then, our women, we are suffering. Most of the women that are in the local village, they are suffering, having nothing to eat. They will be weeding grass. They will look for 500 naira a day. Look at the whole Ogoni great nation.
Where you are extracting oil from, you did not develop that place. What do we do to federal government? What do we do? What did the Ogoni people do to them? Only to come and kill us. Only to come and kill us. As you look at this place look like a place where they are taking oil from. People are benefiting from our oil, but we are here. No work for our children.
The session provided a safe space for them to share their stories and begin healing from traumas caused by environmental and climate injustice, as well as various forms of violence against women.
They said they will come and take our oil. We want them to settle the women, to settle the less privileged. We are suffering.
Anything come now. If we did not pay, then no go take. Now show us talk, and I show you go take.
The days we ate and the days we didn't eat were the same. The days when the town is tense, mommy can't go out to get food, so you have to sleep on an empty stomach.
Have been destroyed because of oil. Oil has brought us more harm than good.
Meanwhile, as part of the activities marking 2025 International Women's Day, Kabekache Foundation also organized a traumatic healing session in Port Harcourt the Rivers State capital. For these women and other farm oil-impacted communities like Otuagbagi in Bayelsa State, where oil was first discovered in commercial quantity in Nigeria. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Kikalomo Okeri, we appreciate your reporting here. The Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted 1,409 jerrycans of premium motor spirits allegedly smuggled through the Dorofi and Kaniaka axis along the Gembu-Cameroon border in Taraba State. The Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adeni, disclosed this in Jalingo, the state capital, while auctioning the seized petroleum products to the public. Adeni said that the operation Whirlwind, which burst the smuggling network, was carried out between March 8 and 9, 2025, based on intelligence gathered in collaboration with some key agencies. Chinese procuratorial organs have prosecuted 21,404 individuals in 2024 for the production and sale of counterfeit and substandard goods, according to the Supreme People's Procuratorate. In addition, procuratorial organs nationwide approved the arrest of over 7,700 people in connection with these crimes. The SPP also released 6 typical cases involving the production and sale of counterfeit and substandard goods that directly affect people's livelihoods. These cases included fake fire extinguishers, diesel, cosmetics, fertilizer, and pharmaceuticals. As we take it further into the foreign scene tonight, the courts in The Hague says ex-Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte is set to appear before the International Criminal Court, ICC, in the Netherlands today. The 79-year-old is accused of crimes against humanity amid the, quote, war on drugs, end of quote, during his time in power, including the murder of at least 43 people between 2011 and 2019. The court now says in the statement that Duterte would make his initial appearance at 2 p.m. And also health matters, measles cases in Europe have doubled in just 1 year, with the highest number reported since 1997, that's according to United Nations agencies. The World Health Organization and the UN Children's Fund announced this in a statement. According to analysis by the UN agencies, a total of 127,350 cases were reported in the region in 2024, double the number of cases reported for 2023, and the highest number since 1997. The United States Vice President J.D. Vance has stated that foreign students on student visas may face deportation if their stay is deemed not to be in the best interest of the country. In an interview, Vance emphasized that this move is part of a broader strategy under the Trump administration to increase deportation efforts. He noted that while some may view this as a matter of free speech, it is primarily about national security and determining who is allowed to join the American community. Let's take it to sports tonight and find some excitement for you. Former president of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, Amaju Pinnick, is relishing his ascendancy in football administration from Delta State, Nigeria, to the global scene, despite losing his seat on the FIFA Council. Pinnick fell short by just 1 vote during the 14th Extraordinary General Assembly of the Confederation of African Football. The ex-NFF boss, who was seeking re-election to the 37-member FIFA Council, garnered 28 votes, narrowly missing the threshold achieved by Suleiman Waberi of Djibouti, who secured the 5th and final spot with 29 votes. England manager Thomas Tuchel has announced his first squad for the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Albania and Latvia, with key stars such as Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, and Phil Foden headlining this selection. In goal, Jordan Pickford retains his place alongside Aaron Ramsdale, Dean Henderson, and James Trafford. The defensive line includes experienced names such as Kyle Walker, Mark Guehi, and Reece James, alongside emerging talents like Miles Lewis-Skelly and Jarrell Quansah. As we end News Prime on Global Television tonight, let's bring you a recap of some of our big stories. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has halted the reinstatement of Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano. In business, the European Union, EU, has restated its commitments to supporting Nigeria's digital ecosystem, particularly as it could help reignite the economy, providing youth with digital skills and creating much-needed employment across the country. On the foreign scene, the court in The Hague says ex-Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte is set to appear before the International Criminal Court, ICC, in the Netherlands. And finally, in sports tonight, we told you England manager Thomas Tuchel has announced his first squad for the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Albania and Latvia, with key stars such as Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, and Phil Foden headlining the selection. And that's News Prime for you here tonight. So thank you very much for watching. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on the screen. We are also on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. On behalf of my colleagues and the entire team who have made this broadcast tonight possible, I'm William Agbofu. We say a big thank you to you for watching and have a big weekend ahead of you.